r/IDontWorkHereLady, episode 31. White ladies mistakes my Asian dad as a worker. Gets seated anyways. Short story. So my family is Asian. We are Korean. One night, we decide to go to a Japanese restaurant. We get there and get seated. My dad ends up forgetting his reading glasses, so he gets up and heads to the door. As he gets there, two white soccer moms/Karrens come in. They say hi. It's not that busy, is it? Now my dad knows what's up. So he grabs menus from the tiny counter and walks them outside and seats them and tells them, "Your server will be with you in just a moment." My dad just leaves them after that and goes to his car to get his glasses. He comes back inside and sits down with us. After about 10-15 minutes they come back inside all mad. They notice us and my dad sitting at a table enjoying our meals. They get furious and we all start bursting out laughing. Which I think got them so embarrassed that they stormed out the restaurant 10/10ths my best night ever. Next time though, I would just parented to take their order and stuff. Thanks for reading. Edit. To clear some stuff up. 1. The lady said hi and tried to make conversation by basically saying, rewording it, "It's not busy how" in that kinda tone. She wasn't asking a question. 2. It may seem like a simple mistake, but automatically assuming my Asian dad, who's not even in a uniform, is a worker is very ignorant. 3. But I understand that my dad might have taken it too far. Maybe instead he could have just said something instead of taking them outside. Woman mistakes me for an employee, throws a tantrum among other things. Recently, I went to a grocery store. The store is a popular chain in my area. Most of the employees wear reddish polo shirts with black aprons or vests over them. Some just wear unbranded dress shirts, or have dress codes unique to their department, like the coat worn by people in the meat department. I was wearing a black polo with a small logo for my art clinic. This must have confused one of the other customers. I was picking up some ingredients for a bake sale going on at the grade school my girls attend. My wife was not only the organizer, she was baking 4 items to include in the sale. Since she was at home preparing cookies and brownies, I was sent to get more essentials like sugar and frosting. In the baking aisle, I was kneeling down to reach the large bags of sugar that are always on the bottom shelf. I was reaching towards the back of the bottom shelf, since there weren't many bags left. While doing this, I was being careful not to overexert my right hand, since I recently had to get stitches and it still hurt, cut it with a razor, while helping to set up a neighborhood haunted house. That's when I heard a high-pitched voice say, "I'll find it myself." I thought the voice was unnecessarily loud, but didn't really give it a second thought as I grabbed the bag and lifted it up to my cart. I placed it on the handle on top of the cart for a moment to give my hand a rest when a woman grabbed the bag off of my cart, put it in her own and said, "Great. I don't have to go looking for it now." It was the same voice, and before I could react, she happily walked away and was out of sight as soon as she turned at the end of the aisle. There was nothing for me to do but bend down again and start the process over to get the last bag of sugar. After getting butter and eggs from the back of the store, I went through the condiments aisle to get to the front. The moment I entered the aisle, I saw the woman. I wanted to see if she would say anything as I walked by, but she was occupied with another customer. **SIIR***. The woman's voice was so loud and piercing, it literally made me stop in my tracks for a moment. "Could you help me reach the ketchup? I need ketchup." She pointed to the top shelf that held the larger sizes of ketchup bottles. She didn't see me yet. She was speaking to an elderly gentleman who was walking with the aid of a cane. "They're too far back," the woman exclaimed. "I wish I could help you," the man replied, "but I don't think I'll have any more luck than you." The man wasn't much taller than the woman. "But I can't reach the ketchup, and I ***need*** it." Fearing that she would not leave the man alone, I stepped in. "I'll get the ketchup for you, ma'am." Reaching up was much easier than getting under a shelf. I could easily use my left hand to grab a bottle for the lady. She looked over her shoulder at me and then turned back to the gentleman. Let the employee get it. Again, her voice was loud, as if she were trying to speak over some ambient noise that only she could hear. I'm not an employee, ma'am. The lady turned around to face me, but I need some ketchup. I'll help you get the ketchup. Do you work here? No, I replied. Why do you want the ketchup? I don't want any ketchup. I'm trying to help you. I need ketchup. She pointed to the top shelf again. I know, I said, failing to hide the frustration in my voice. I had to reach over her outstretched arm, but I grabbed the bottle that she appeared to be pointing at. I tried to hand the bottle to her, but she looked at it in my hand and said, that's not **BIIIG** enough. I need the big ketchup. I sighed and put the bottle back before picking up a 64-ounce bottle. The lid is on top, the woman whined. What? I asked, thoroughly confused. The lid is on the top of the ketchup. I need the ketchup with the lid on the bottom. You said you wanted the big one. There are only two choices, a 64-ounce bottle with the lid on top or a 32-ounce bottle with an inverted lid. I need the big ketchup with the lid on the bottom. I summoned patience I didn't know that I had. Perhaps you should get 2 of the 32-ounce bottles with the lid on the bottom. I put the larger bottle back and picked up the inverted ketchup bottle. When I held the bottle out for her to take, she just stared at it. So I put it in her cart next to the large bag of sugar and grabbed a second bottle. This one she took from me. ****, I need the big ketchup. ****, this time the woman really yelled. ****THIS ****ISN apostrophe T ****THE big KETCHUP. I need the big ketchup. She drew the attention of the entire store including several employees that curiously looked in from the end of the aisle. I'm sorry, I said, I don't think I can help you with your ketchup problem anymore. As I reached for my cart, the woman threw the bottle of ketchup at me. I reacted by deflecting it away with my sutured hand. Ah! I exclaimed in pain. The bottle went flying into the shelf on the opposite side of the ketchup display with a loud cracking sound. Ketchup sprayed all over the products on the shelf. The lid of the bottle had cracked and broke off on impact. What's going on here? A woman who appeared to be the manager stepped up from behind the other employees. ****HE doesn't work here. ****, the obnoxious woman yelled. Ma'am, calm down, the manager said, trying to get the lady to quiet down. Tell me ****, he acts like he works here. ****, the woman started pointing at me. ****, he doesn't work here. Employees should help the customers. He doesn't work here. ****, I tried to ignore the lady and inspected my hand. It was painful, but no serious damage. No, he doesn't work here, the manager said calmly. ****, he followed me through the store and pretended to work here. ****, that's not true, the elderly gentleman spoke up. He offered to help her. He explained that he doesn't work here after she asked him. He kept trying to give me the wrong ketchup. To everyone's relief, the woman was now speaking at her normal volume. The man with the cane continued, that man was being as helpful as he could. She wasn't being reasonable. The manager saw me looking at my hand. Are you hurt? I'll be fine, I replied. I'm sorry for the mess. One of the other employees stepped close to the manager and spoke in a low voice. That woman threw the bottle at him. We all saw it. That's true, the old man added. Take him and his stuff to customer service and wait for me, the manager told the employee. If he needs anything for his hand, get it for him. The employee took hold of my cart and asked me to follow him. As I left the aisle, the woman asked, are you kicking him out? No, the manager replied. At the customer service desk up front, I asked for ice for my hand and the employees promptly provided it. The customer service clerk asked us what happened. I don't know, I started to explain. I just asterisk he should be kicked out for pretending to work here. Asterisk the loud, shrill voice could be heard through the store. A moment later, the elderly man with the can walked up to the front of the store and sat on a bench near the customer service desk. "That woman is crazy," he said. Then two cops came into the store and followed an employee to the condiments aisle. "I have to call my wife," I said. "I'm supposed to get this stuff for the bake sale to her, and it looks like this might take a while." "Is that the school name, bake sale?" the customer service clerk asked. "Yes," I said as I made the call. "You know it?" "My daughter goes to school name." "Really?" "My wife is organizing the bake sale." At this point the call connects, and my wife picks up. I tried to explain to her what happened, and that it might take longer than expected before I'm home. However, I had to cut my call short when one of the police officers started asking me questions. He asked me a few questions to get my side of the events. I told him everything, including what happened with the sugar. The manager arrived at customer service while I was talking to the officer. Once he was done, she said, "We are going to issue you a gift card for the value of the items in your cart." "That isn't really necessary," I said. "It wasn't your fault." "Are you sure?" The manager seemed disappointed. The clerk spoke up. "This stuff is for the school name, bake sale. His wife is the organizer." "Well, why don't you consider it a donation, then?" the manager suggested. "Plus I think we can donate some custom baked goods from our bakery." "That would be great. Have your wife call me as soon as possible. We'll work something out." The clerk and the employee that got ice for me rang up my items, asked if I needed anything else, and issued a gift card for just over the amount of my total, and used it to pay for the groceries. They gave me the card which had less than $5 left. During that time, the cop interviewed the old man. When he was done, the old man asked, "What happened to that lady?" "She's been banned from the store," the manager said coldly, and walked away with the officer. We both watched as the second officer escorted the lady out of the store as the manager and first officer followed, and #X200B and #X200B TL. Dr. woman steals sugar from my cart same woman tries to get an elderly customer to fetch groceries for her she confuses me for an employee she is very particular about her ketchup bottles she has a tantrum she throws a bottle of ketchup at me she insists that I'm pretending to be an employee she gets banned from store and gets escorted out by cops. Mistook me and my brother as H&M employees. So my brother and I were shopping. He was looking for a white blouse and was browsing through the clothing racks. We were both wearing outcoats and I wore a scarf as well. I have bright pink hair and was carrying 2 bags from other stores. A man and his wife are walking towards to us and asks where the striped blouses are. I just look at him a bit confused and I'm like, "Sir, I don't work here, so you gotta ask an employee." I raised my bags a bit to show him that I was shopping as well. Thinking, well, H&M employees don't particularly look like employees, so honest mistake. "Well, where are they?" "I don't see them," he responds. I just stare at him, and when I look in the corner of my eye I see a woman walking around with a keychain and a earpiece in. There were at least 3 people within a few meters working here. "There's someone," I point at her. He grunts and walks towards this woman. "That young lady," points at me, "didn't want to help me, so maybe you will?" That lady looks at me and goes, "Well, she doesn't work here, but I will help you." She continues to help him while this man's wife keeps staring at me. We then went to the women's section to look for a nice dress, and she is there too. I just smile at her and keep browsing, thinking it's a bit weird to just leave your husband like that, but okay. "Are you gonna help me, or what?" she says. I don't really respond, thinking she was talking to someone else. She walks up to me. "Hello. Are you gonna help me?" At this point I probably looked like a super confused person. I just explained I don't work here. Luckily the employee who helped her husband saw what was going on and started helping the woman. I know it's not extreme, but WTF. I'm not a valet, just dressed warm. Years ago at a club on a winter weekend. I usually wear a regular Patagonia winter coat, even when I would go out to fancy places or clubs, because I had a long walk home and hate freezing. One night my friend and I were at a club/bar that had valet. I'm coming out of the place and lost my friend for a minimum, so I'm standing outside by myself. Up walks 3 girls all a little drunk. Me equals me, DG1 equals drunk girl, DG2 equals drunk girl 2, DG3 equals drunk girl 3, DG1 equals hand me a piece of paper. Me what's this? DG1 looks at me weird. I need my car. Me not understanding what is going on. Oh, where did you park it? DG1 what? Get my car. DG2 come on, it is freezing out here, get our car. Me, you want me to get your car? I have no idea where your car is, and I have drank way too much to be driving and ways. DG1 getting upset. Get my I care. DG2 and DG3 yelling something about the car. Me what in the world are you talking about? Why would I get your car? Out walks my friend, and around the same time a valet shows up. DG1 hey, he won't get my car. Is someone going to get it? Valet guy looks confused because he is wearing a uniform that looks nothing like my outfit. Ask her for the ticket. But I forget I have the ticket still. I remember this the next day when I find it in my pocket. I leave because why would I stay around and listen? I finally piece together she thinks I'm the valet because I have a regular coat on and a black wool hat. As leavings I can hear her arguing with the valet. I'm assuming it was about no having a ticket and her being too drunk to explain that. Maybe I did everyone a favor because these girls were way too drunk to drive. Or maybe they ended up getting their car without the valet ticket. Lost and all I wanted was directions. Honestly, super proud of this moment. A couple months ago, when I was first learning how to navigate around Manhattan, I was looking for my bus stop. I forgot what street it was on. For the sake of the story, let's say 47th. It was nice earlier that day, but it started to rain, and I had a large black oversized hoodie on, hood up, with non-visible shorts underneath. So I approach a man I see outside a building dressed in a suit, and he starts to open the front door for the building for me. I'm confused for a second, and don't walk in and just ask for directions. He goes, oh, I thought you never mind, yeah, go up the block and you'll be at 47th. I start walking away, then notice he's outside a strip club. Dude thought I was a stripper, nice. I don't go to this school, manuscript. I didn't expect to be back on this subreddit so quickly, but this happened just a few days ago, and I'm still laughing over it. Context: my mum is a geography teacher who began working at a new school a few months ago. The school community itself was only 3 years old and taught in porter cabins as their actual school building was still being built. It's only recently been built, and last Monday was the students' first day in their new classrooms. My mum was super excited to finally have her own classroom, so I offered to help her decorate her room, which she agreed on. TLDR, my mum is a teacher, and I offered to help her decorate her classroom, to which she agreed. I was unpacking her boxes from the boot of the car onto a pull-along trolley type of thing when my mum calls out to let me know that she was going to help a coworker carry boxes to their classroom and won't be a minute. Okay, that's fine. I lean against the car and browse Instagram until I hear a distant "excuse me," accompanied by the sound of heels. I'm approached by a tall, thin woman with sharp features and a lanyard bouncing around her neck. Let's call her Helen. Helen, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be on this site until Monday. Me, I'm helping my mum decorate her room. Helen, no, what are you doing at school? She said this slowly and with a concerned stare. Me, helping my mum, she talked to her manager, I'm allowed to be here. Helen looks around the car park and asks, and is your mum here now? Me, she's in school, she'll be back in a minute. Helen nods slowly, and not a second later my mum comes back and puts her arm around my shoulders. Mum, hi Helen, this is my daughter scatting in for Gears or Fate. She's been helping me out today, haven't you? Honey, this is Helen, the head teacher. Helen just looks at me and introduces herself, to which I respond, hello, nice to meet you. I'm sorry that this didn't end with an exciting conclusion like most posts, but she was cool with it, and though we were both embarrassed, I thought it was a strange encounter that was worth posting. Got the nicest compelemt I've ever received. It was the beginning of October. I went to Michael's to get stuff for Inktober. I with my headphones, jamming out to some alternative pop in my own world, looking at pens. Then I see movement to my left, and a lady was waving at me. I took out her headphones and asked her if she needed something. She said, "You don't work here, do you?" "Yeah, but I'm here often enough that I can help you find what you're looking for," she replied. "Okay," and she was looking for watercolor brushes. So it was in the paint aisle, sandwiched in between the paint, and then I had to explain Michael's weird artist levels to her so she could get the right brush for her. We made small talk, then parted ways. We met again in the checkout line. Slightly embarrassed, she said, "You just looked so artistic that I thought you worked here." Probably the best IDWH experience I've had so far. When your school lecture lets people think you're a city guide. I'm a mobile user and English is not my first language, and I'm not sure if it's the correct subreddit. If it's not, please tell me the correct. So, I live in Cologne, Germany, and had to make a lecture about the city of Cologne. This included an excursion to the city. I've been covering various places all over the city, and the tour was round about 20 kilometers, 12,5 miles long. When we were at the middle of my lecture, I noticed about 10 people following my class. I ignored it and continued. Sometime later, the group had grown to 40 people. I asked them at the end of my lecture what they are doing here and why they are following us. They told me that they thought this would be an official city tour and that I would be an official city guide. I was flattered because it was an ordinary school lecture and, from my point of view, not very sophisticated. This occurs to me from time to time, and I don't know why. I'm not from here, Karren. This is a long one. So I was 16 at the time I met the Karren. I'm from down south and I have the accent. I ride horses and go to competitions, so I'm in Illinois. The place was a small town with one main grocery store, it seemed. The show was pretty big, and I could drive, and I brought my close friend, since I was just picking something up quickly for lunchtime, and getting waters or something like that, since we ran out. My barn tends to feed many of the neighbors at the show. So I go in the store alone. I'm very sweaty, since I had been moving hay bales and whatnot around, and wearing a solid grey t-shirt, plain baseball cap, belt, jeans, and cowboy boots with spurs, the jingly kind. They were not big but made noise. The store's uniform was, guess what, a button-down t-shirt that was grey with a gold nameplate. I was wandering around kinda clueless as to where I could find drinks, so I just walked down the aisle quickly. Then she appeared in front of me. Oh, finally a goddamn employee, K, for Karren. I turn around to look behind me, and I see a cashier, and think nothing of it, and continue on my business. Now, as a good polite Southern belle, I dip my hat to her, acknowledging her existence as I walk around her, after seeing I'm not at the drinks. K, where the hell do you think you're going? I was startled by being shouted at for no reason. Me, I'm sorry ma'am, I think you have the wrong person. My accent must have been obvious for her to know I'm not a local. KO, since you are an oh good stupid southern hick that just moved here and started working a minimum wage job to pay for sweet tea, since your brain is so watered down by incest at that point, I'm slack-jawed. If you don't know, southerns can be very well mannered and polite, but if you insult them, you have been marked for death. Me, I will say this once ma'am, I do not work here. I'm quite bellicose with you at the moment, so I shall leave before things escalate. K, what the fuck made up word did you say? I turned to walk away, and then she grabs my wrist to pull me around. Now, working with animals that are easily 5 times your weight means you get ripped. I yanked my wrist free and pulled my shoulders back, and standing straight and taller than her, Me go the fuck on, lady. I'm giving you a warning, don't push it, or I will chuck you like a sack of feed. I left to get the drinks, and I thought she got the message. My friend, call him C, who was a year and a half younger, but I only came to his shoulder height, and was a big time wrestler and football player and horse rider, so he was pure muscle. He came in, because I was taking so long, and we were in checkout. K, there she is. That no good stupid bitch. She pointed at me, and you could see the confusion on the management's face. I went apeshit. Who the goddamn hell thinks just because someone has a southern accent is stupid? I will have you know, you insufferable human being, I am a straight A student with app classes and a member of representative for my school in my state. You have the audacity to come here and demand C set his hand on my shoulder to get me to simmer down. See what seems to be the problem? Management, I think there has been a mistake. Kano. She assaulted me and threatened me. Me sir, I only pulled my arm away from her grasp and I did threaten her after she came after me. Okay, one moment, I will check security footage and we will settle this. So we all go to the back room, and while M is checking the footage, K starts to insult me once more, saying things along of I will show you dumb slut. I'm very upset and C is struggling to stay quiet, I can see it in his face. Finally K says, probably when your mother was getting knocked up by her brother he fucked her so hard he knocked a few screws loose in your head. C bust open the door of the room with M, please for the love of all that is holy, get her out of here. He grabbed K and slung her in with MC, I'll whoop her ass if I hear one more shitty thing about my girl. I was surprised at that statement and that was the best thing about the trip. Okay. I'm so sorry, but I owe you an apology. K, thank you. M, not you. Me, I just want to get the drinks and get back to my horse, please. M, you can have it half price, I'm so sorry for this inconvenience. Me, not at all sir. I happily went on my merry way with my drinks and friend, while K was screaming at the manager about everything, poor choice in clothing. So basically, I'm originally from near Chicago, and I own a ton of Chicago Cubs and Chicago Blackhawks shirts. The Cubs shirts being mostly blue and Hawks shirts being mostly red. I typically wear one of these shorts under a polo or a button-up with khakis, then after work, I tend to take the overshirt off, leaving just the shirt and khakis. Every time I go into Menards or Target I get asked for help, and usually, I'm more than willing to help, because I know both of those stores extremely well. However, recently I was at a Target that I had never been in, buying cans of corn, if you're from the Midwest. You understand, and this lady, we'll call her K4 Karren, is attempting to get my attention, but I was squatting down and engrossed in my corn shopping. Again I kick. Anyway, K walks up next to me and stomps her foot, prompting me to look up. K then proceeds to say, excuse me, I can't believe you were ignoring me, I'm a customer. Now tell me where the jelly is. At this point, I stood up and said, ma'am, I'm sorry, this is the first time I've ever been in this store, I do not work here. At this point K looks at my shirt and realizes her mistake. She says in a slow and ashamed voice, oh, you are just wearing red, you don't work here. Almost immediately after, a stoker walks into the aisle and Karren pulled the same stuff with him. Where is the jelly? I'm in a hurry, the jelly was literally behind her the entire time. Menards is another one that is always fun when I accidentally wear a Cub shirt. One time I was loading bags of mulch into my 4Runner and a lady demanded that I help her load her cart. Usually, when someone is demanding like that, I would say I'm sorry, I do not work here, but when I turned around, the lady's face went stone cold and immediately started apologizing. She was an elderly woman, so I decided I would help her out anyway. She ended up giving me $5 for my troubles. The strangest place I have had people think I worked was Ike. I was wearing a light blue polo after work with khakis. I made the mistake not to take my work ID badge off before I got out of my car. ID badge is only used to get into the buildings, so I typically have it with the white side facing out clipped on a belt loop because my ID picture is horrible. I had 3 different people ask me for help. They were all good sports about it when I told them I did not work there. But IKEA uniforms are yellow and blue vertical striped shirts. Not a hard shirt to mix up. I work here, but not here. Had my first IDWHL experience today. I was in the tech center at my college stapling something I just printed at the help desk. A girl walked up to me and told me she was having trouble logging onto a computer, which is understandable since I was standing in front of the help desk. I just told her I didn't work there, gave an awkward chuckle, and went back to the computer I was doing homework on. I thought it was funny because I do work for the college, but in the tutoring center instead of the tech center. Not super interesting, but I thought I'd share.